In the 21st century, ancient monsters returned to haunt the world's most vital shipping lanes. They were not creatures of myth, but modern ghosts who hunted steel leviathans for profit.
These were the Somali Pirates, masters of the Indian Ocean and masters of media headlines.
They appeared from nowhere on the horizon, in small, fast skiffs, armed with deadly weapons.
They were not simple fishermen. They were a sophisticated and highly organized criminal enterprise syndicate.
Using satellite phones and GPS, they tracked the movements of massive international cargo ships. Their network of informants on land gave them details about every vessel worth capturing. They operated from motherships, allowing them to strike hundreds of miles from any shore.
A successful hijacking was not just a crime. It was a carefully planned business operation.
The world's navies were baffled by their tactics, their speed, and their incredible audacity.
They built a multi-billion-dollar industry based on fear, negotiation, and logistical precision.
They created a pirate stock exchange, where locals could invest in upcoming hijacking missions.
They became legends, living in mansions in Somalia, driving luxury cars through concrete jungles. But the story of how these legends were born is the most shocking part. To understand the monster, you must first understand the forgotten hell it came from.
Before the pirates, there were only fishermen trying to survive on the Somali coast. For years, huge, illegal foreign super trawlers came and stole all of their fish. These massive factory ships scrapped the ocean floor clean, destroying the entire marine ecosystem. The local fishermen's nets came up empty, and their families began to starve slowly. As if that was not enough, a darker secret was hiding beneath the waves. Foreign companies used Somalia's unguarded coastline as a cheap and illegal toxic waste dump. Barrels of nuclear and chemical waste were dropped into the ocean, poisoning the water. A tsunami in 2004 washed hundreds of these leaking, rusted barrels onto the shore. People started getting sick with strange rashes, breathing problems, and birth defects from radiation. With their livelihoods stolen and their children getting sick, the fishermen had finally had enough. Their first mission was to protect their waters and stop the foreign invasion by force. They boarded the illegal fishing vessels, demanding a fine for the resources they had stolen.
This act of local justice was surprisingly effective, and it brought in unexpected amounts of cash.
The fishermen had tasted power, and they soon realized a much bigger prize was waiting. The fishermen had tasted power, and they soon realized a much bigger prize was waiting. The target was no longer a fishing boat, but a massive supertanker carrying crude oil. The pirates' mothership, a captured trawler, lurked far out in the deep ocean.
From it, two small, fast skiffs were launched, loaded with armed and determined men.
They sped towards the giant tanker, easily matching its speed in the calm ocean waters. Using long ladders and grappling hooks, they began the dangerous task of boarding the vessel.
Once on deck, they quickly took control of the bridge and captured the entire crew. The crew was not harmed. They were the pirates' most valuable insurance policy for negotiations.
The massive supertanker was then sailed to a hidden pirate-controlled port on the Somali coast.
The pirates' negotiator, often a man who spoke fluent English, made the first ransom call.
He called the ship's owner in a different country, starting a high-stakes business negotiation.
"We have your ship." Days, or sometimes weeks, of tense phone calls followed between the pirates and the company. Once a price was agreed, often millions of dollars, the final phase would then begin.
The ransom money, in cash, was loaded into a waterproof container and dropped by parachute.
The pirates would collect the money, count it carefully, and then finally release the ship.
This was the business model that made them the most feared pirates in modern history.
The global economy, worth many trillions of dollars, was now being held hostage by these pirates.
So the world's most powerful nations decided that enough was finally enough for this problem.
An unprecedented international naval task force, known as Combined Task Force 151, was officially formed.
Warships from the US, UK, India, China, and Russia began to patrol the Somali coast. These advanced warships were all equipped with helicopters and highly trained special forces boarding teams.
Commercial ships began to carry their own private armed security details for their personal protection.
We have your back.
The ship designs changed, with razor wire, water cannons, and safe rooms called citadels added.
The pirates' days of easy captures were over. Now, every attack was a violent firefight.
Powerful naval helicopters would hunt the small pirate skiffs, chasing them in the open ocean.
Elite special forces would then board the captured ships, rescuing the crew and arresting pirates.
The pirates were now the hunted, their criminal operations squeezed by overwhelming international military force. The pirates' motherships were found by satellites and then destroyed, cutting off their range. Hundreds of captured pirates were sent to prisons in other countries to finally face trial. The huge financial risk of a mission became too high, and the pirate investors disappeared. The once mighty Somali pirates were being systematically dismantled by the combined power of the world.
Today, the legendary golden age of Somali piracy is now considered to be a closed chapter. But the root causes of the problem, illegal fishing and extreme poverty, still remain unsolved. The large international fishing trawlers have returned to the now unprotected and unguarded Somali waters.
Some people will only see the pirates as simple, greedy criminals who brought terror to the seas. But others still see them as desperate heroes, the only ones who dared to fight back.